Why do you think we're interviewing you today on camera?
Because I'm renowned. I have run the greatest campaign in the world.
Is that why you're wearing a tiara?
Oh, this is actually my Prince tiara.
Does it look fake?
No, it doesn't look fake.
Thank you, I know. I was the driving force in the greatest Dungeons & Dragons campaign. You see, the CIA doesn't want me to tell you. Doesn't want me to tell you why. I made them pay for this beard, you know. It's not my natural beard, but it looks like it.
Breathe it, hey. Breathe it, hey. Breathe it, hey. Breathe it, hey.
Here we go. Welcome to the golden toilet.
So synchronized.
We're very good at what we do. I'll tell you something.
She called me, telling me that her host had canceled for a show that she was running. And I also told her that I was available because my D&D group canceled again. So both our plans were just kind of wide open / hers was falling apart, and I had nothing to begin with. Marlia does know the trials and tribulations of people canceling at Dungeons & Dragons. But she could have told you that.
I called him against my better judgment. I didn't want to call him, but I felt like I needed to, for reasons that the CIA has asked me not to share.
Oh, yes.
All right, that sounds good. Hey, everybody, give it up for Leland Newton. Woo!
Yeah. Thank you for those claps, guys. I love when I get the claps, especially when I get it from strangers. All right. I made sure before I came to the golden toilet that I ate a goose, just so I could lay something in there that matched that golden toilet. And my name is Leland. I know that's a rare name for someone like me. And I hate telling white men my name, because every time I tell a white man my name, I get the same response, which is, well, that's an awkward name for someone like you. And because of that, I really did research on my name. And my name, Leland, if y'all don't know, I'm gonna tell y'all, means dumbass comedian in Spanish and sexy chocolate midget in Mongolian. Before I get into my act, I wanna let y'all know some things. I got a tendency to say some very offensive things. And if anybody in here gets offended by it, even just a little bit, then y'all can catch me outside. Nah, literally, try to. I'm fast as a rabbit and small like a turd. And I got no problem running from my problems. You can ask my children about that one. I want to give y'all some impressions, because I like doing impressions from time to time. I want to give y'all impressions of two people that made things like this possible for people like me. And that is going to be impressions of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. But at a strip club. I have a dream that these sexy young females in neon green G-strings will come and unite their pussy lips with my mustache. Listen here, my brother Martin. In order for us to set these ladies free, titty by titty, nipple by nipple, lingerie by lingerie, we must set the emancipation of the proclamation of this administration to show these young, sexy, fine ladies that we ain't land on Plymouth Rock, but tonight they gonna land on this hard cock. Now bring that ass on over here, Rosa, so I can park it in the back of your bus. I like doing stand-up comedy. I love doing stand-up comedy. I've been doing this shit for 6 years. 6 years, man. But it hasn't always been my dream to be a stand-up comedian, especially as a young kid. I had all types of dreams. Y'all remember when we was kids, we used to have these crazy dreams, like being a fireman or an astronaut or a doctor. Or for me, it was to become the world's greatest cocaine dealer. Until I seen the end of Scarface, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go do ballet instead. Nope, cocaine ain't worth it. I'd rather die on my toes, not from the white snow. But I had this one dream. One dream I had to tell my mom about. And it was one day become the most popular porn star ever. That's right. I'm gonna tell y'all how I discovered this dream. I was playing kickball with my friends inside my backyard. One of them kicked the ball over the fence. I yelled out, I got it! I jumped the fence. I ran into some bushes. And beside the ball was a shoebox that had the sound of angels coming from it. Ah. So I went to the shoebox. I opened it up, and you wouldn't believe what was in there. Disco-themed porn magazines. I remember my favorite one was called Hairy Bushes and Disco Balls. So I left the ball, picked up the shoebox, jumped over the fence, seen my friends, yelled at them, I'll see y'all later, and ran in the house to start my research. Next week, my mom came home early from work, and she startled me because I was still doing research. So I quickly stashed my shoebox full of disco-themed porn magazines, my tissue, and my cocoa butter underneath my bed, and I ran in the kitchen. I said, Ma, 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 Ma. She said, boy, whatever you been learning in ballet class, you better cut that shit out. I said, Ma, I finally discovered what I want to be when I grow up. She looked at me and said, well, it better not be nothing like your bitch-ass daddy, because your bitch-ass daddy can't keep his dick in his pants. Looked back at her like, maybe. And I knew after hearing that statement, I just couldn't come out and tell her I wanted to be a porn star. So I had to get her soft and ready for it. So I hit her with a little joke. Ma, when I grow up, I want to be the first black president of the United States. She got happy, started clapping my hands. About goddamn time you got real dreams, boy. That's when I knew it was time to hit her with it. I looked at her and said, psych! I really want to be a porn star. But not just any kind of porn star. I want to be a disco-themed porn star that goes by the name of Sperm Jizz Jackson. Sperm Jizz Jackson, a disco ding-a-ling porn star. I wrote his first scene, Ma. It goes just like this. Sperm Jizz Jackson walked into the building doing Sperm Jizz Jackson walk. Ow! And then he gets to this door where he knocked 3 times. Because there's a woman on the other side of the door wearing sexy lingerie. And he says on the other side of the door, hey, look at here, little mama. You better open up this goddamn door so Sperm Jizz Jackson can lay the smack down on that Poo-90. And she says back to him, nah, Sperm Jizz Jackson, the last time I gave you some of this good coochie, you left and broke my heart. Sperm Jizz Jackson says, you got 3 seconds to open this door. You know what? Fuck it. Boom! Kicks down the door, rushes in the room. She pulls off her lingerie. Sperm Jizz Jackson bends her over and penetrates. And after my mom heard that, I don't know what came over her, but a belt magically appeared in my hands. And she proceeded to beat every single ounce of Sperm Jizz Jackson out of me. That doesn't sound right. She beat the Sperm Jizz Jackson out of me, but she didn't beat the dream. My name's Leland. Have a good night.
What is the weirdest place you've ever performed comedy?
Where is it? I feel like every place I perform is weird, but it had to be in the basement of a bar in Rhode Island. It was an open mic. I can't remember. Well, it was Providence, Rhode Island, actually. And yeah, it was dusty, dingy, dirty, dark. The brightest place in the whole basement was the stage, but everything else was just like, ew, it felt damp down there, but it was tons of comics, and we all just made it fun. You know what I mean? Even though it felt like we was in a dungeon in sort of a sense, but yeah.
Well, you see, the greatest game that was ever played reminds me of grape juice. But also, because grape juice is the same color as the pools of blood. The pools of blood of which I made from my PCs, the player characters that played and died in my campaign. She needed me that day. Hydration.
Honestly, we have a friendship that is born of one thing, and that's knowing that we play D&D. And I gave it a shot. I threw the dice, but who cares what the dice say, right? The dice don't rule my life. But on that day, the day we played the greatest game of Dungeons and Dragons ever played, dice did rule my life.
Mona Forgione, everybody!
Come on, there we go. Give it up for Mona, everybody.
It's nice to see him drunk again, you know?
Don't encourage him.
Wow. I was a little intimidated by that. I've been married for 19 years, so I've had nothing like that in my sex life. At all. Yeah. Actually drove down here from Derry, New Hampshire.
Oh.
Yes. I'm originally from Chelsea, Massachusetts. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, usually when I say that, people grab their wallets. They do. Yeah. I grew up in Chelsea, Massachusetts in the 80s and 90s, and there's a lot of street cred that comes along with that. There really is. But I live in Derry, New Hampshire now, so you kind of lose that, which is why I tell people I'm from Manchester, New Hampshire. Trying to get the little bit of that back. Yeah, my kids, they're from Derry, though, born and now raising, and they're kind of soft. Okay, they're very soft. So what I did during school vacation week is that I drove them down to the projects I grew up in. I just opened the car door and just rolled them the fuck out. I picked them up a week later. I was pretty excited to see what was going to happen. Very excited about that. And then they grabbed their wallets around me. So I guess cities change. I was a little disappointed in that. But yeah, so I did grow up in the projects in Chelsea, Massachusetts, and my parents worked really hard to move out and buy a house. And they did. They eventually bought a house and moved us 2 streets over from the projects. Go mom and dad. Yeah. My last name is Italian. It is not mine. I am borrowing it from my husband. Yeah. For our 15-year wedding anniversary, I finally legally changed my last name to Forgione. I did that. Yep. I needed something, inexpensive but sentimental. So I went in low so I could sell back high. Yeah. Because, you get to a point and you're like, how much is it worth to you? No, really, how much is it worth to you? A lot of women, they want that monthly alimony payment. I'm looking for that one lump sum. That'll be nice. Yeah, so I have the last name Forgione. People assume I'm Italian. Surprise! Irish-American Jew. Yes, I know a couple of faces. Yeah, a couple of faces though looked at me funny. It's like I knew there was something about her I just didn't like. Yeah, like I said, I'm living in New Hampshire now. I do like jackets, which is great because I have a camo jacket that I have to drive around in. Jew in New Hampshire, you've got to blend. So that's what I do. I don't have to wear it when I drive back down to the Boston area though. I don't know if you are aware, but around Boston, off-white is all right. It's all right. At least that's what my dad told my mom just before he married her. Yeah, it's good though. Yeah, Irish-American Jew. Yeah, but people usually jack up the name quite a bit, so we're going to do this. Everybody's going to put their hand up. Ready? And you're going to say, Forgione. Forgione. Thank you so much. I get to go home and tell my husband a room full of people screamed his name so I don't have to later. Like how that works? I definitely do. I do. Yeah, entering springtime. Anybody excited? End of seasonal depression? Or as I have 4-season depression? Most people. Yeah, I have a Can-Am three-wheeler that I like to ride around on. It really is helpful with, you know, depression, anxiety. And I recently saw, you know, I had, before that three-wheeler, I had a Honda Rebel 250. And if you don't know motorcycles, that's a micro penis of the motorcycle family. I did name it Vic after an ex-boyfriend. Because from afar, it looks really the nice stature, right? Very nice stature. And then you walk up closer to it, you hop on, rev the engine, take it for a spin, and you end that very depressed, full of shame, and it really does not go the distance. No. I'm Mona, thank you so much. As soon as my children were walking in the house today, I shoved 3 Reese's peanut butter eggs in my mouth and hid the trash. Hid it right underneath a paper plate. It was my clique in high school. I did not really have a clique. I was a cheerleader, and I was also in the National Honor Society, and then I was in Massachusetts Pre-Engineering Program, so MassPep, and the Science League, and the Multicultural Club, so I was pretty much all over the place.
It was a lot like any other day, except this day was different. This was a day in which Marley could not restrain herself from doing the actions that she did that led to our fight.
Michael Millett is such a fucking asshole. I shouldn't swear. I've been telling my wife that I would stop swearing. I've been telling my mother that I would stop swearing. I told my cousin's daughter that I would stop swearing. I promised her, but
I lied about it being all fun and sunshine, about DMing. It's my fault. I only did this because I wanted to DM with my best friend.
Wow, that is really sad.
I know.
I'm not his best friend at all. And that also makes you an asshole, too. Michael.
Well, I was hoping you wouldn't say that in front of all these people. I thought you would just commit to the
Yeah,
DM.
the magic of television does not extend so
And like, there's so many people
far.
watching, so you have to say yes.
No.
I'm gonna be honest. Michael Millett, he's a good D&D player. He has the knowledge base. Okay, if you want me to say it, I'll say it. He's a master. Okay, I'll say it. Man's a master at Dungeons and Dragons. Couldn't have played the game without him. It wouldn't have been the same game. Was this a more intense than usual campaign, or?
Well, they did sometimes use tents for camping. Most of the time, they just slept in other people's houses.
So it was intense.
Pretty intense.
Right on the medal.
Ooh, that's an 8.
That's an 8.
Well, who shall we have save us?
I think that's Robbie Partridge, everybody.
Robbie Partridge, give it up for Robbie.
Give it up for Robbie Partridge, everybody. You have to roll the dice.
Find out what happens next. Oh no, it's
That's
2.
not good.
Oh, you have to save the day by finding all 10 fecal stones. There are 10 fecal stones and you must find them. Good luck. Save the day, good sir.
I will have nothing to do with your fecal brox. Nothing to do with it. This is weird. I don't care, I'm using it. No, I'm not going to take it out of the stand. I don't have 2 kids because I take stuff out. So last year, the Pope Emeritus died, like at the end of the year. Remember, it was like the Pope, and then he retired from being Pope. Yeah, and then they had a new Pope who's still the Pope, but the old Pope died. So I came home, and my wife, just making conversation, was like, "Hey, did you hear the old Pope died?" And I said, "No." And then our kids said, "Who's the Pope?" And I said, "He's in charge of the Catholics." And then they said, "Who are the Catholics?" So then I said, "It's like one of the largest groups of Christians." And then they said, "Who are the Christians?" And I said, "It's one of, if not the largest religion in the world." And then my kids looked at me and said, "What's religion?" And at that point, I turned to my wife and I said, "Honey, we did it. We have raised well-behaved, good-natured heathens. They have no concept, so therefore no fear of hell. They just choose to be nice people." Fucking wild. Speaking of Catholics, last week I saw a news headline. I was scrolling through the social medias, and it just said something along the lines of, "For the last 300 years, the Vatican has classified capybara as a fish." Now, for those of you who don't know what a capybara is, it's the world's largest rodent. Okay, it's like a 3-foot guinea pig. They're adorable. They live in South America. Awesome. So I have to click on this article because like this has to be like a silly clerical error from the 1700s that they've just never corrected. Nope. They decided that because their South American constituents are already eating capybara, that it'll just be easier during Lent if they classify capybara as a fish so that people in South America can just continue to eat it and it won't go against whatever made up Catholic rules they have. Right? So, and I'm not Catholic, but if I'm following this, they made up some rules that take place for 40 days. And they're like, "Oh, you guys don't want to eat fish? You want to keep eating capybara? Capybara is a fish now." So my question is, when are they going to reclassify consenting adults as altar boys so that they stop having sex with actual children? When is that going to happen? It seems like a pretty easy fix. All right, that was too far. Fine, I don't care. You try stuff, whatever. Recently, a dilapidated homeless man asked me for change, and I said no. And then he said, "Come on, I'm really hungry." And I looked at him, and I said, "Of course you are. You don't have any teeth." Last week I did that joke in Maine. Nobody laughed. And I realized, a lot of you people with homes are also toothless. Here in Maine. Thank you.
Weirdest place? The Mexican restaurant in Maine. That was, like, they didn't know that there was comedy going on. And there was just a room full of families eating tacos and burritos. And then people doing dick and fart jokes. It was wildly inappropriate. I have saved all of my children's baby teeth. Like, I have them in baggies in my nightstand. And I don't even know why. I just do. Yeah.
I just wanted to let that sit there.
Yeah, no, we can stew in the uncomfortableness. It's fine. Baby teeth in my nightstand. I mean, other than that, I don't know.
You look like a cock-a-doodle dork.
You look like you glued cotton candy to your face. Man, remember when we were kids?
Yeah, I remember being